Hi, this is Billie Beene here with another flash update regarding the Third World War getting cranked up in Israel. Today's date, October 7, 2023. This is my second update of the day, episode 65. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriot subscribers, Israeli News Live, and Hal Turner. It is now believed that by some analysts, including myself, that Israel, the government headed up by Benjamin Netanyahu, may have aided, abetted, and facilitated the attack upon Israel. Benjamin Netanyahu, it is believed, may operate as a puppet avatar for the deep state, similar to the one we have in the U.S. And we know in the U.S., I just brought out in my most recent videos, that the deep state U.S. government has allowed something like 500,000 CCP military inside the U.S. I submit to bring about a similar attack as we are seeing in Israel. And this is what the citizens along the border with Palestine, the Israeli citizens, are saying. Why did it take 9 hours for the Israeli military to respond to an attack within its borders? And so it appears that a setup was in place. And so now, we have this information, Israeli News Live, Stephen Bannon, formerly with the CIA, currently as a ministry and regularly gets updates from the Pentagon. Also interviewed this morning a Christian friend inside Israel who was giving out some information. And so we see Russia did not like Israel giving weapons to Azerbaijan to come against the Russian-backed Armenian government. We see also that Ukraine attacked the Russian Wagner group in Africa and Sudan, aided and abetted by the NATO and U.S. forces. So all of this is getting cranked up. And Israeli citizens are reporting it took 9 hours for one of the best militaries in the world, the Israeli military, to respond to an invasion and attack upon Israeli citizens. And we see other political reasons why Benjamin Netanyahu may have participated in the attack upon Israel and brought this scenario about. And that was because we currently have 1.5 million Israeli citizens still protesting against the Israeli government headed up by Benjamin Netanyahu, who wants to take down the judicial system so that the leader of Israel can operate as a dictator. The Israeli citizens said no. It is believed by some analysts, including myself, that this attack inside Israel, possibly aided and abetted by certain members of the shadow Israeli government. Just like in the U.S., we have a shadow part of our own government that appears to be working against the U.S. citizens. So it is in Israel. And one of the objectives of allowing Hamas to attack inside Israel was to get rid of the opposition by the Israeli citizens to Benjamin Netanyahu becoming dictator of Israel. And it is that the citizens who had been protesting and refused to participate in military reserve training are now volunteering to defend their nation. I submit to the citizens of Israel, when you get all of this under control, you need to look inside your own government, as we, the people in the U.S., are looking inside our own government too. That's going on. 9 hours for one of the best militaries in the world to respond to an attack and invasion inside its own borders, and an attack slaughter upon its civilians and its military base located along the border with Palestine. 9 hours. What do you see with your lying eyes? So that's going on. Now, I reported, based on that intel, I had that Israeli general Nimrod Eloni was believed killed or kidnapped by Palestine, but that's been refuted. He's appeared with Benjamin Netanyahu on Israeli TV. Now, Stephen Ben-Nun with Israeli News Live doesn't believe certain things that are being put forth. He doesn't believe that the Mossad, also one of the best intel organizations in the world, did not know about this Hamas plans for attack. So yeah, that's going on. And now we have this. Currently, the report is from the citizen who's on the ground in Israel. It's being reported by Israeli TV. The number of dead Israeli citizens and military I reported in my last video was 40. It's now being reported 200. Injured is in the thousands. So we see a real kinetic fighting war going on right now against the citizens and people and military of Israel. And now we have this. Israeli News Live reports Palestine versus Israel. It's a declaration. Palestine has already declared war on Israel, and Israel will make a formal declaration of war that we should see on our TV sets inside the U.S. about 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The intel is from Stephen: 35 civilians kidnapped, 200 dead, thousands injured. 3,000 to 5,000 rockets have come over the Israeli border. And now we have this. Israel had been in talks with Saudi Arabia to divide the land in Israel, to grant Palestine to being a separate state, and to returning to the 1967 borders. That was what Saudi Arabia wanted. Israel was engaging in talks along those lines. And now we have this. So we have the Israeli ambassador to Russia. Inside Russia, Alexander Ben Zeev has said to the Russian government, Israel is prepping to nuke Iran. So that's going on. Israel sees Tehran, that's Iran, as being the power behind the Hamas attack, and so threatens to nuke Iran. And the intel: Israeli radar and surveillance equipment at the border of Palestine, Gaza Strip, had been blocked before the attack. And now we have this. Out of Afghanistan, the Taliban is saying to the Islamic nations around Israel, it's okay with you, we will cross your land, we will go into Israel, and we will take Jerusalem as a part of being important to the Islamic religion. Yeah. That's right. Okay. We have that going on. And now this intel. So this is Egypt. All right. Egypt now is at DEFCON 2. DEFCON 2 is when you are preparing to go into a hot shooting kinetic war. If you are at 1, you're there. And they put their 2nd and 3rd armies on a DEFCON 2 basis, and they've increased the security at their borders. And of course, the Egypt government had communicated to Palestine, prepare to be a graveyard, meaning that Israel is going to wipe you out. Now, further intel is that about 2 p.m. today, October 7, and we know it's scheduled that Israel will make a public declaration of war, and this is 2 p.m. Eastern Time in the U.S., and at about 2 p.m., Israel will make a formal declaration of war, Eastern Standard Time. And it's also, this intel is coming out at the same time that Benjamin Netanyahu, the representative of the Israeli government, will make a public formal statement on TV that Israel is entering into a declaration of war against Palestine. About this same time, Hamas will launch a massive bombing attack up on Israel. So that's going on. Israel has now called up 100,000 reserves. So yeah, that's going on. So this concludes my flash update. We need to be in prayer for Israel. I love you, and I'll see you soon.